Argentina have defeated Curacao 7-0, and Lionel Messi has made history like he always does at this point, becoming the first South American and the first World Cup winner to hit the 100 career international goals milestone. And he becomes the player with the most international goal contributions in the history of football. So let's get straight into it. G, what was your initial reaction to this match?
Before I give my reaction, I was just to say, welcome back to the Messi fan page here, man. It
Oh,
just it's felt like a lot of Messi recently, but obviously it's international break and he's been close to breaking these records. But I think it was just something that was inevitable. Like I saw this match coming up. I was like, I checked my phone and said, what record does he have to break? Is it that's gonna be broken? That's broken. That's broken. I was just like, this is basically he played the Coast Guard. He played a bunch of part-time footballers. I swear these guys just last week they were working at their local grocery store. Like, yeah, these guys. I mean, they're playing the world champions. I mean, okay, but it was inevitable. I didn't expect anything else. I just saw Messi was one goal away from 100. I was like, I could have bet my house on it. It was about as for sure of a lock as you can get. So I mean, no matter what's gonna be impressive. I mean, you look at the numbers. I know it came against basically what's the equivalent to your dad's barbershop, crew at the down the street, but it's still an undeniable record that he broke, and it's something that another record he's taken away from Cristiano Ronaldo. So anytime he can do that, I'm sure he's patting himself on the back. So it's just another chapter in Messi.
yeah. I mean, look, before I get into my thoughts on the match, I just want to say, no disrespect by this, but Curacao are ass. Curacao are utterly terrible. That first half was pretty bad. I mean, Argentina. I mean, obviously they're playing the world champions, but Curacao. I mean, you could just see the levels between these two teams. Obviously, I
That
mean that's
that match
quite
gave me
obvious.
hope that maybe one day I could actually play against Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, we might be next. You know what I mean? Let's get shoot it straight versus Argentina.
Oh
Make it
Jesus! I
happen.
mean, dude, I think they'll be more competitive, man. I mean, Jesus, man, that was some of the worst football I've seen in a while. But that's besides the point.
I mean, Panama did give them a tougher test. Obviously,
Yeah,
Panama are a
well,
better team
Panama are way better. I mean, comparing Panama
to
to
Curacao.
to Curacao, I mean, Panama might as well be friggin' classic Pele Brazil compared to them. But
But yeah, but regardless of Curacao, as them as a footballing nation, I mean, obviously they're not that great. But besides that, that's not the point. Argentina, they did what they had to do, and they did it comfortably. It was a pretty dominant performance. I mean, this is what everyone expected. I mean, honestly, if Curacao had somehow scored a goal, I would have kind of been, alarmed. This is not good. But they were able to keep the clean sheet. Argentina did everything they had to do, and it's just another impressive performance. But I think this obviously is what we expected out of this international break. They beat Panama, they beat Curacao in their World Cup, champions victory lap tour, where they go home to Argentina and they're just kind of celebrating. They had more post game festivities against Curacao in this match today.
yeah,
So
they had a
basically,
live show before the match. I mean,
exactly.
they're still celebrating it.
They're still celebrating. That's kind of why they scheduled these lesser opponents that you would expect them to thrash and beat quite comfortably. So it's no surprise they did what they had to do. And honestly, I would say they did look much better in the attacking third,
I,
especially in this
I'd hope they
match.
would.
I would hope so, but I was impressed by that. Messi obviously had a great game. And it's just one of those things you have to give Messi his props. I mean, to be able to score a hat trick in the first half, it's impressive no matter who it's against. So
I guess, yeah.
it's impressive, obviously, but I think that basically this just for me gives questions about the future of Argentina because obviously this team looks utterly incredible right now. They're getting healthy. I mean, in the World Cup they were missing some key players, and now they're coming back into the fold, adding on to what already was a World Cup winning team. So obviously looking forward, this is a year down the line. We're still a year away from the next Copa America, but I want to ask you the question: will Argentina win the 2024 Copa America?
Super early predictions. I mean, I think it'd be crazy to say anybody other than Argentina at the moment. I mean, I'm not purely judging their winning odds off Curacao or
No.
anything like that. It's Argentina. They're the world champions no matter what. I mean, any team that's coming off a World Cup is going to be favored in whatever competition they are in. So I would have to 100% agree. I mean, I don't see. I mean, we mentioned it before. Possibly Brazil. I mean, Brazil are always going to have a very deep team, very good team, but they don't have a head coach right now. They still don't have a coach. I mean, at the moment, do they? I
No,
haven't seen. I mean,
they're still trying to get Carlo Ancelotti.
they're still trying to get Ancelotti. There's like other names being thrown around there, but they still haven't had a coach, and they're always going to have great talent. But right now, Argentina is just a well-oiled machine. I mean, they're a great defensive team. They turned themselves into a good defensive powerhouse, and obviously they have the explosive attack of led by Lionel Messi, Julian Alvarez, even Enzo Fernandez. These guys that are just, I mean, a young team that can just run forever and that can support Messi and get the best out of him from the point that he is at his career now. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's just clear as day. Obviously, I mean, I would be shocked if
If they
Argentina don't win the Copa America.
Yeah. Look, I agree. I think that the clear favorites for the Copa America in 2024 is Argentina. Obviously, right there with them, you have to put Brazil, but I would take Argentina to win. I think it ultimately will come down to an Argentina Brazil final, and
Possibly.
I would bet the house on Argentina winning that match. And it doesn't matter if Brazil do get Carlo Ancelotti. Obviously, I'm not even factoring that in. I just think this Argentina team, you used the perfect analogy. Argentina is a well-oiled machine. This team is elite defensively. They have Emi Martinez, who on his day can be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. We saw it in the World Cup. They have a very strong defensive back four. And then their midfield, this is the highlight of this team. I know that their attack, led by Messi, everyone wants to point the
This team would not work with if it didn't have this midfield because they wouldn't be able to get the best out of Lionel Messi.
But that's the exact point that I'm going to make. This is why this midfield is so important. Messi does not work at his highest ability, at his highest level, if he does not have a good midfield behind him. This is why we do not see the same Messi that we see for Argentina at PSG, because PSG's midfield is extremely not that great. It's just not a great midfield. This is why they struggled against Bayern in the Champions League. But for Argentina, their midfield depth is just utterly unbelievable. I mean, they have Rodrigo De Paul, Leandro Paredes, Gio Lo Celso, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, Rodriguez, Palacios, Almada, who's coming up. And this is just scratching the surface, I mean, of players that are going to break into this Argentina national team. And then obviously we all know the attack. They still have Di Maria, they still have Messi, they still have Dybala, Julian Alvarez. Even though Lautaro Martinez is not at his peak form right now, he is still a quality player to come off the bench for this team.
And
And
we're gonna probably see Garnacho start to
that's what I was going to
sneak
say.
into the team.
And there are young players who are going to have the opportunity to break into the side, like a Garnacho, who is going to only make this team better, add more depth to this team. This Argentina team is just a well-oiled machine with extreme depth. So I would bet on them against anybody. I mean, whether it's Brazil, Uruguay, it doesn't matter who they're facing in South America. I think they're the best team in South America by far. And Messi, I mean, even at his age, is still looking like the best player in the world. And I don't expect him to fall off a cliff by 2024. So naturally, this team is still going to be elite. And I think the big difference between Argentina and any other team in South America is Scaloni. In my opinion, Argentina have the best manager in international football right now, in the whole international football. That's including Europe as well. I think Scaloni is such a good manager, and he's perfect for this Argentina team. He gets the best out of these players. They respect him. His system is sound defensively, and he basically, lets that attack do its own thing. Obviously, because they have such a strong midfield, they just are. It's just this team is just so good, and I didn't think I would see the day, but I think ultimately we will have Messi winning another Copa America, adding his second to his trophy cabinet. And I mean, hear me out.
Oh God.
Messi and Argentina win the 2024 Copa America. France and Mbappe win the 2024 Euros, and then we get the World Cup final rematch in the Finalissima.
Okay, that's a
This
bit. That's
this
a
would
bit
be
much,
this is football. This is cinema. This is what the world needs. We need to see this. This is what I'm rooting for.
Of course. But I mean, obviously, I think South America is a bit weak at the moment. Right now, it's open for the taking. I mean, it's just wide open for Argentina just to take it all again. Because I mean, Uruguay is taking a dip. Colombia are nowhere near what they used to be at all, and Brazil are kind of up and down. I mean, Neymar is getting older. He's starting to fall out of his prime, not being able to stay fit, and they're just not as good as they once were.
Hmm.
And I mean,
Obviously, right
that's
now, no
just
manager.
yeah, obviously, and no manager right now, so that's just prime for the taking. But obviously, talking about mentioning France, that's a possibility. But obviously, Europe has a bit more competition. But yeah, I mean that would be very interesting to see because finally seeing that's something a bit still new, but that would be a sight to see a rematch of a World Cup final. But
In the Finalissima. That's what I want to see. And I
yeah.
think it's a very likely possibility. I mean, obviously, France are, I would say, the favorites to win the Euros, of course. I mean, there's still a lot of competition there. I mean, you have England, who's very good. I mean, Portugal are still going to be good. I mean, there's other good teams. but I would say that the favorites are France, but the favorite doesn't always win, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Argentina are by far and away from for me the favorites in the Copa America, and I expect them to win this tournament. Obviously, barring any major injuries, of course. I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
that's a given.
That's unforeseeable.
Yeah, I mean if Messi, knock on wood here, if Messi somehow gets injured and he misses the tournament, of course, my prediction would change. But I don't think there's much besides a major injury that could change my prediction of Messi and Argentina winning back-to-back Copa Americas. I think it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree.
But I think this is one of those things. Obviously, the international break is finally wrapping up. Club football is coming back. So we'll be having some more club football videos coming back to the channel, thankfully, because this international break has been far too long. I think it's the last one of the season. So thankfully, we're almost done with this.
Yeah, get back into the Champions League, back in the thick of things, and maybe
Mhm.
cool off on a bit of the messy meat riding that's been going on. But we have to talk about it because I mean it's history, so it has to be
It has to be talked
touched
about.
upon.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this match. Let me know what you thought about Messi breaking these records. Do you think Argentina will win the 2024 Copa America? Let us know in the comments down below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more football content, more football news coming to the channel. But I think without further ado, we can wrap this one up. So I'm Zach,
I'm G.
and we'll see y'all next time for another video. Peace.